A very good morning to you. You are watching Newsline with me, Chathuranga Hapuarahchchi, this morning. Before I introduce you to our guest this morning, let me thank everyone who has called in and texted in and asked about Farah's health. He had a little system update yesterday, if I may put it that way, and he's now doing well. As members or part of the crew of this Newsline program here at Newsfirst, it gives us a sense of pride and a lot of happiness when people engage with our host and our program in this manner. So thank you very much once again. Let's get to the topic that we are going to discuss this morning. We are going to talk to a member of the Colombo Municipal Council, a young politician, son of a veteran politician and a lawyer, Mr. Charitha. Gunaratne. Good morning to you, Charitha.
Good morning, Chathuranga.
Second time you're on this show, and first time we are talking about this particular topic. Charitha, the topic that we are going to talk about today is going to be the municipal council and why the youth of this nation, the young people, should focus their attention or put attention on the political system rather than being completely ignoring the political matters that are happening around them here in our country. So as the first question, let me ask you, you're a person who went into the Colombo Municipal Council for the first time this time around from the United National Freedom Front, a party that was created by your father. All that being said, why did you, as a 25-year-old, 23-year-old gentleman, go into the Colombo Municipal Council or get into politics?
Well, Chathuranga, one of the reasons why I got into politics was because I wanted to be a part of the change I want to see. Because, I mean, there is no, up to a certain level, limit, you can criticize the people doing it, but then people come up to you and say, why don't you do it and show them the way, or show them how it's done. So that is one of the reasons why I decided to come into politics, and I want to work in such a way where it will make a change to this country.
Now, Charitha, if you take a look at the world around us, lots of young people are getting into politics, a lot of new faces becoming heads of states, so on and so forth. Now, in our country, there is a perception to say you have to be at a certain age to do things. Your maturity counts in a lot of instances in our country. That's how our culture is. Whether it's good or bad is a different question altogether. But now, when you're in that position, the municipal councillor who is responsible for the area, people living in the Colombo municipality, do you think age is a problem?
Well, I don't think age is a problem. I mean, unless the advantage of this is you have various age groups inside the municipal council. I probably must be the youngest member in there, so you get different opinions. Without only limiting it to older people or the older generations. Having new blood, younger people, can also make it an opportunity to voice what the younger people and the younger generation also needs inside the Colombo municipality.
The other side of it, now you have had how many sittings thus far in the Colombo
council sittings? One, only the inaugural sitting.
So in your opinion, the one time you all were with the other councillors, what are their opinions like about these young people coming in? Because I have spoken to a number of people on this very show and outside as well about the young blood coming into the system through these local government elections. A lot of people don't have the same view on it. Lots of people see it in a good way. A similar amount say that it's not a very suitable thing. But how do you think the people are coping up with all these young people who are in?
Well, Chathuranga, I mean, so far the members of the municipal council have been quite welcoming and accommodating. I mean, there were senior members who I have gone up to, and I have asked them for procedure and things I didn't know or things I needed to learn inside the council. I have always gone up to them and asked them how it is done, and most of the time they've been very helpful. I don't know behind the scenes what they actually think, or if they think
they are politicians after all.
Exactly. So you can't gauge that. I can't gauge that yet. But I mean, so far they have been quite accommodating.
Right. Now let's talk about the topic that we promised our viewers that we are going to talk about. Why, in your opinion, do you think the young people in our country should actually put their attention to politics? Because everyone at the moment seems to be engaged with other things, because genuinely the perception when you say politics in our country, what you get into your head is a pickle, acharu if I may call it, and people don't want to get their heads tangled in that as well. So when all of that happens, why as young people do we have the need or the want to look at politics and say this is what the country needs to go through and this is what needs to be done?
Well, Chathuranga, that is a question I will have to answer in 2-3 different phrases. Firstly, I mean the younger generations, I mean they don't see anything happening at the moment. Now you take the older generation for instance, they are very involved with politics, they know the history of politics, you know, they know the policies of various parties and all that. But the younger generation, they haven't grown a like towards politics. The reason being, the younger generation needs to be heard. Their needs and wants must be provided. You know, when you say politics, they say apo deshapalane apita wadak naha. They don't want politics. They don't care for it. They don't care for it because I mean sometimes it is just only a facade during elections.
Yeah.
Their needs and wants must be looked at.
Yeah.
And for example now grounds. I mean you have to have sports. Things like that should be enhanced and young people should be given the opportunity. If that is given, and also they should be included in politics. You know, it is not the older generation. I mean, you know, we should use them, get their views, their opinion, and then if we move forward, then I feel a lot of people from the younger generation will join politics and also take part in politics. Interesting
point, Charitha. Now, if you take a look at all the inaugural sittings of various urban councils and municipal councils across the country, you did not see them actually putting forward policies, you did not see them actually trying to do something for the country. I'm just talking about the inaugural sessions. I don't know what will happen in the future. But from what we know at the moment, there were several fights, several brawls happening inside the premises of the municipal councils, urban councils, and even in the Colombo municipal councils, there have been issues. I have been getting various calls from members of different parties to say, no, this is happening, this is unfair, but none of it was about the people. None of it was about the general public or their problems. It was party problems and problems when it comes to not being able to appoint who the chairman of the council is, things like that. Even this goes up to the cabinet level as well. Now there's a cabinet reshuffle that has happened. The UNP is talking about restructuring, the SLFP is talking about restructuring. No one is talking about the people, Charitha. You can say, yes, sports needs to be enhanced, people should be included, but what are you all doing when you go to the actual place?
Well, so far, I mean, the Colombo Municipal Council has not, to my knowledge, not done anything, you know, moving for the people. I mean, now we've been in council for more than a month now. You know, it is still in the state. It is in, you know, all ideas and, you know, people may have and discussions and committee meetings. So I feel, I mean, there was a bit of a you know, hullabaloo about the inaugural sitting also at the Colombo Municipal Council. But however, I mean, I have faith in the Mayor, Mrs. Rosie Seranayaka, that she will at least try to do a good job in the best of her capacity.
Mr. Gunaratne, now, once again, cabinet was reshuffled, but if you ask the people who are responsible, the public representatives, what are you going to do? When are you going to do it? They will say, look, it's just been 2 days. A week later, they will say it's just been 1 month.
1 week.
Yeah, so 1 week, and a month later, 1 month. So time will go by. Time doesn't wait for anyone. So time will go by, but nothing will be done for the people. This has been the incident. I'm talking about the government past 3 years. This has been the instance, and another 1.5 to 2 years more. So people are still waiting. Now, what if I'm to point the finger straight at you and say, as municipal councillors, I'm not referring to a single party or to you personally, but as municipal councillors, what if we also point, the general public point the finger at you and say, you all are having sittings, spending millions. going in and talking about your issues, how to appoint a chairman, how to do this, how to do that, but not about the people's problems, and you walk out spending people's money, and you'll say it's just been one sitting, 2 sittings, 3 sittings, what do you expect us to do?
Well, that's a very good question, Chathuranga. When I have personally, I am in the standing committee of garbage management, and I have already, because we have had a garbage problem for some time in Sri Lanka, I have personally written a letter to the commissioner, because whenever we bring up this question about the garbage not being managed properly, they have previously, with the previous council, they have always come up with excuses. Excuses such as, there are not enough trucks, there are not enough carts. And now, this time, they have given us an excuse saying that there are not enough people to collect the garbage. If that is the case, I think if bringing the people in, if you employing more people, can do the trick, I will agree to that. But the question is, there are so many people employed inside the Colombo Municipal Council. Why can't we utilize them? Because one thing we've noticed when it comes to the garbage management program, the people who are into garbage management, people who come to your doorstep and collect the garbage, are in the older generation, towards the older latter part of their life. That being the case, sometimes they feel ill. Sometimes they have other problems, other commitments. So they do not even come to work. So because of that, if we get, because these are all pensionable jobs, and I am told that people with good qualifications as well would also come for this job because it is a pensionable job. That being the situation, Chathuranga, I feel we can solve this problem, and also the public, if they are a little more responsible with their garbage and the management of their garbage, this problem shouldn't be a problem in the months to come.
Months to come do you think it's possible in the months to come?
Well, I hope to make it possible.
Charitha, the people have to be responsible in a lot of things that they do, especially when they're appointing political representatives to be the municipal council or higher up. Now, I want to ask you your views about the cabinet reshuffle that happened. It was supposed to be a scientific cabinet reshuffle. Lots of views were expressed regarding it yesterday and the day before as well. We are yet to see the scientific nature of it once the gazette comes out with the separate subjects that have been divided. But again, will these cabinet reshuffles actually yield results in terms of what the people want?
Well, Chathuranga, the president had said the cabinet reshuffles were to happen soon after the defeat on the 10th of February. Almost 3 months have passed, and only yesterday and day before yesterday the cabinet reshuffles happened. So that means 3 months this country has been going forward without any governance. That's the story behind the whole thing. And that being the situation, we have got approximately 40 cabinet ministers, and we have approximately 80 deputy and state ministers. That being the situation, first of all, the biggest problem is the cost, maintaining them.
True.
Secondly, this is the third or fourth cabinet reshuffle with this regime within 3 years. Fourth. So, for 4 reshuffles, that is, more than one reshuffle a year. I feel, as a Colombo Municipal Councillor, when I went to the Municipal Council, I have a lot to learn there about the people, the process, the projects it's doing. And I feel it will take me 3 to 6 months to do that. That being the situation, if you are going to shuffle a cabinet every 6 months to 1 year, where is the time for the ministers or the deputy ministers or the state ministers to initiate projects, monitor projects. By the time they come and they get to know their ministry and about its projects, the ministry is changed.
But they hold on to their projects. We remember in the highways incident, Minister Lakshman Kiyal held on to that particular project. We remember Lotteries Board being held on to the same institution by the same minister. So they are not politicians like you, Charitha, not going into the parliament for the first time, not going into the cabinet for the first time. Very experienced people who know what they are doing. But unfortunately, they are not doing what they are supposed to, but they're doing the exact opposite of it. Be corrupt and be taking away the money that belongs to the people of this country. So how does that work out?
Well, I mean, that is they have to work according to their conscience. I mean, the people are the ones who voted them in, and the people are responsible. The people are responsible to vote responsibly in the next elections to come. If the said ministers or politicians or parliamentarians or whoever have not done their job properly. Because end of the day, these politicians, whatever politician, including me, we are responsible for the people of this country. The people of, I am responsible for the people of Colombo who voted for me. And if I don't work for them, and if I just keep shifting, I mean, if I was a minister, if I kept shifting ministries and not working for them, I mean, I don't know if I will be elected next time in parliament or even any council for that matter.
Charitha, interesting point there. Now, you are in the Colombo Municipal Council and you said you're responsible for the people who voted you in. But again, even at the council level, I'm told that we have heard reports to say that there have been exorbitant costs involved in the first ever sitting of this new council, the Colombo Municipal Council. So once again, aren't you and all of the 106 members who are in the 119 members in the Colombo Municipal Council wasting the money of the people?
Well, that is a very good point, Chathuranga, because I believe I am the first councillor in this council who ever brought this problem up. I mean, when I spoke to other members in the council, they also had concerns, but no one wanted to voice that concern. There was, they have spent 1.5 million rupees for meals on the inaugural day. This is for 119 members. Chathuranga, this money is the taxpayers' money, the tax rupees at work. And they have made orders for 500 people. When I questioned this, why 500 people why did they order for 500 people? The person in charge of the procurement of this food has stated that each member of the council has got 5 invitations each. And within the finance committee, which was on last Wednesday, I asked the councillors, did even one member allowed 5 invitations? Not one member was allowed 5 invitations. I was personally allowed only 1 invitation, and that also I did not utilize. It was only me who went for the council and me who came back home. They have spent one
additional invitation.
One additional invitation. So they have spent ₹1 million on lunch only. And at the finance meeting, there was a heated discussion where the mayor, Mrs. Shananayaka, also agreed that the cost for the lunch and the food, it was way too much. And there were some members who did not have the same standing I had. No, they were okay with this expenditure of 1.5 million. And they tried to criticize me for criticizing that. But we must remember, Chathuranga, we have to try to minimize the expenses for the councillors, firstly. And secondly, we have to be more efficient when it comes to saving up funds which are being utilized for the members and using that money to help the people of this country. of Colombo.
Charitha, if the municipal council didn't waste that money, if I may put it that way, waste that money on the lunch, 1.5 million, you would have wasted it on something else.
Well, I mean, you cannot say that, Chathuranga, because the reason being that money, I mean, when you come looking at it from one point, yes, you can. But if you, there are so many people, Chathuranga, in Colombo. From Colombo 1 to Colombo 15, I can take you to any ward, and I can show you people who only eat one meal a day.
I can do better. I can take you to wards that with people who don't eat at all.
Exactly. So that being the situation, it is against my conscience to eat. I mean, from their tax dollars at work. I mean, I can't go and eat for 1.5 million rupees on the inaugural day, because I have seen houses personally where the drain goes through the house. It rains for 15 minutes. Those people are underwater. That being the situation, I mean, I don't think any councillor, if they truly love the people or they have come to serve the people, I don't think they can truly even,
Charitha, now the councillors in the municipal council, Colombo Municipal Council, the JVP councillors who are in the 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken, have put forward a thing to say, no, we did not attend this party, we went out, had our meals from outside, and they did not participate in this 1.5 million rupee lunch that you all organized.
Well, Chathuranga, to be very honest with you, I am not too sure about that, because I mean, some of the councillors have come and accused me of also eating this meal, which was true, because the price per councillor was not mentioned there, and no one is going to, in their wildest dream, ever think that they are going to spend 1.5 million rupees to feed 119 councillors for a day.
Yeah.
So because of that, it's against my conscience to have eaten this meal. Therefore, I am going to return that money to the treasury of the Colombo Municipal Council. I'm going to give a check. I'm going to write. Today, within the course of the day, I'm going to write 2 letters to the commissioner, and I'm going to, with a check, I'm going to return this money to the treasury of the Colombo Municipal Council.
Charitha, that's indeed great. But I want to move on with time very quickly, running out. You said there are various committees inside the municipal council.
Yes.
You are in one of the committees, and that is to control garbage.
Yes.
There is a
solid waste management.
Solid waste management. In addition to the garbage issue, there is also another major issue in our country, in Colombo rather, and that is traffic. Now I've received a text message from a viewer. I'm going to read it out to you. Hi Charitha, welcome to Newsline. What is the municipality doing? For more than a month, the traffic lights on the Gaul Road, side on top of Deal Place, Colombo 3. Last 2 weeks I have been calling the municipality and complained, but so far nothing has been done. What do you think of that, Charitha?
Well, there is, Chathuranga, there is a committee for the traffic and the highways.
Yeah.
That is a part of that committee, but definitely I will very responsibly tell you all that this concern will be brought up by me in the next committee meeting, because I am not too aware of this traffic light issue on Deal Place.
Right.
But I will definitely go and have a look at it. I will personally go and inspect it, and I will bring it up in the next committee meeting for traffic and highways.
Charitha, what if I may ask you this? You seem very passionate about the work you do, and you seem to be doing it with a genuine heart. But what if I may put it this way and ask you, is it only for the first term? And then once you learn how to make the money, will you make the money like the others as well?
Well, definitely not, Chathuranga.
How are you assuring that?
I can very responsibly tell you that I have not come here to make money. And also that is forbidden by our party, the United National Freedom Front. That is forbidden. So in that case, first of all, I will be sacked from my party.
Right.
And probably my father, who is probably watching, will disown me. So that being the reason, I don't think because I have a responsibility towards the people. And a name I have created for 5 years, let's say, I mean, to the end of my term, can be just tarnished with one stupid, even a statement, or even one stupid stroke of a pen. So I am not ready or willing to sacrifice that for anything.
You place this on record, mind you.
Definitely.
We'll use it
Definitely.
when we think it's suitable, the right time. We'll use it again. Charitha, getting to the final bit of our program for this morning, I want to ask you now, you mentioned about this 1.5 million rupee lunch, and you said, look, this is the money that went off and I'm willing to give it back. This is not the only instance that the municipal council, the Colombo Municipal Council, or for that matter any municipal council in our country is going to spend that much of money. And every time, let's say, if you come forward and say, yes, the municipal council paid for it, now let me pay it back, sort of thing, what will happen to the country?
Well, it's a very good question, Chathuranga, but I mean, it is my duty. Why I'm reimbursing that money is, again, it is against my moral compass.
Yeah.
And I do not want to be a part of that, of those 119 members.
But roughly how much do you think, before we move on, how much do you think one person should give back?
Well, I feel each member, there are two ways to calculate this, Chathuranga. One is you divide 1.5 million by 190.
Yeah.
That is one way. So then that works out to about 7,500 or 8,000 rupees if I am not mistaken. Otherwise, what you can do is you can charge. You can make the math by looking at the cost of breakfast, lunch, dinner and tea. But
or that's whatever. Somewhere around 10,000 rupees is what you're trying to say.
No, it's a little less than that, I would say.
So what my point that I'm trying to raise is, yes, 10,000 you can afford it, but what if you all make a amount that is not returnable, not hundreds of thousands, then what will you do?
So in that case, Chathuranga, before that situation occurs, we as sitting councillors...
And why couldn't you do it at this time?
Because we were not sitting in council by the time because this was the inaugural meeting. So we were not in council. Because if this was brought to us, I would have boycotted the inaugural meeting in that case. Or I would have gone for the inaugural meeting and I would have gone eating at home. Because, this kind of thing, I hope it won't happen again, because we will be there. We will be at the committee meeting, we will be at the finance committee meeting to come raise our objections. So, hopefully this kind of thing wouldn't happen again.
So, it's not an assurance, but what you're trying to say is, we will try to stop it before it happens.
I will definitely do my level best.
At least at the Colombo Municipal Council.
At least at the Colombo Municipal Council, to stop, to my knowledge, whatever corruption or waste like this inside the Colombo Municipal Council.
One person, how will you be able to do it?
Well, that is a start. If I try to say that, I'm only one person and I can't do it, and everyone thinks like that, no one is going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm even alone, I may, because I haven't come into this Colombo Municipal Council, Chathuranga, to win a popularity contest within the members. I may get unpopular within the members.
You probably are right now.
I probably are. But I didn't come here to make friends.
Yeah.
I came here to work for the people. And I'm definitely going to do that before my term ends.
So, 2 recordings, Charitha, of you on Newsline saying that you will end corruption to the degree that you're capable of. And you're saying that you will work for the people, and at the end of your tenure, be it in 5 years, be it less than that or more than that, you're never sure, in Sri Lanka, you said, your words were that you will not make a stupid decision, that your father will have to disown you. So we have to keep all of that in mind. Thank you very much.
And on your recording as well.
And on my recording as well. Thank you for being here with us on Newsline this morning.
Thank you.
We hope you success in the future endeavors that you do, and we certainly hope that you will be able to stop, at least to a certain degree, the money that is being spent, the tax money of the people. Thank you very much, Charitha, for being here with us once again.
Welcome.
To you, the viewers, thank you very much for watching us, and thank you for the continued support and the engagement you have with us. It's been great having you today as well. Faraz will join you back on Monday with another interesting guest. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.